This is Toledo Symphony Lab, a behind-the-scenes look at the world of classical music from WGTE Public Media and your Toledo Symphony. I'm Brad Cresswell. Joining me today in the studio are the Toledo Symphony's president and CEO, Zach Vassar, also principal second violin and artistic administrator Merwin Sue, and we have two special guests also with us right here in the studio. That is WGTE's own Haley Taylor, and I have a little fanfare. Pew pew! From 13 ABC, please welcome news influencer Tony Geftos. Yay!
Wow. That's the best introduction I've ever had.
Yeah, I stole it from you the last time you were here talking about it. You said, we tried to come up with your title, right? You said you weren't a journalist. You were kidding, we should add.
Yeah.
And news influencer is what we decided on.
Okay,
right?
I'll go with that. Yeah, sure.
Yes, I expect to see that, on your office door moving forward.
I influence.
Wait,
yes.
What's my walk-up music?
Yeah, I'm upset
I
with
want
Haley.
like an official music intro.
I have music for you later,
Okay.
Haley.
Oh,
Don't, not to worry.
I'll
It
wait
sounds
for it.
ominous. I'm sorry.
I know.
I just want to say that
We'll get to you later.
I can't wait.
That was my impression of you.
exactly. Oops. That's right. Tony G and Haley T are in the house, right? G and T sounds good right now. Tony T and
I'll have what he's having.
don't get ahead of us now.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay, so let's play a little name that tune to figure out what the subject of our podcast is today. And name that tune, let's see, 6 notes, right? They're all the same note. That's it. Again, I figured I couldn't do the Star Wars theme.
You just told us what it is.
Oh, that's right. No,
Well, no, it wasn't the Star Wars theme.
You did not.
it wasn't the
was
Star Wars theme. That was the
Imperial March.
Imperial March. Yeah. From...
The Star Wars Episode 5. It is. 4 is New Hope.
It
5 is...
But for those of us who actually saw the original Star Wars film in the theater when it happened, it's the second episode. We think of it as the second of the classic
Well,
episodes.
okay. I can't help that you don't read the title.
Yeah.
It is Episode 5, Empire
Yeah.
Strikes Back.
For the same reason I don't watch all the George Lucas revised versions of all the films.
Oh, no.
right?
Well, I'm going to have some unpopular opinions then, because I unfortunately do like the new ones.
Oh, okay.
You like the George Lucas edits.
I do like the edits, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
This might
I-
get dicey in here.
It is. It's going to be bad.
All right,
Well-
I got to play newbie card here. So I remember there were the original albums, or movies.
There were the albums, too.
They were on reel to reel. So they were the movies, and then they digitized everything and re-released them in the late 90s.
97, yeah.
Right. And then Lucas made edits to those and cleaned them up again.
Yes.
And then he made the prequels.
Right.
And then he
Yeah.
made the postquels.
And
Right.
we don't talk about Greedo. 'Cause
Oh, that's good. We don't talk about Greedo. So I don't like the fact that Greedo shoots first in
Right.
the revisionist. So I don't like everything, but I do like some of the changes. I don't like the Sarlacc has a mouth. You know what I mean. But
Do you
you
like
will
it?
notice.
I don't think I
Do
even
you like
noticed
the Jabba
that.
scene, though?
Yeah.
The Jabba scene where like Han steps over.
Yes.
You do?
Right.
Oh, Tony.
I do.
No.
Well, because that was in the original Star Wars. It was a cut scene, and they didn't know what Jabba was going to look like, and so they went back and had to put him in. It was fascinating at the time because computer animation was so new in the 90s that we were like, "This is great. You can do whatever," So
Sure.
Wow,
Yeah.
we went like in media res, like right away.
sorry.
Nerd factor 100 right off the bat.
Yeah.
Well, I do have a lot to say about. I've got
Is
so
that
much
the
to
speed-
say.
Is
So,
that the speed of the Millennium Falcon?
There it is. How many
Yes.
parsecs?
Parsecs.
12 Kessel Run in 12 parsecs, right?
But I do want to talk about the music because the music of, well, that's why we're here. The music of The Empire Strikes Back is, in my humble opinion, the best soundtrack out of all of the Star Wars movies from beginning to end. Now there are other Star Wars movies that have fantastic pieces in them, like the Cantina Band. I mean, it's iconic. And Phantom Menace has Duel of the Fates, and that would be arguably what I would say is the best song out of all of them. But I think Empire stands as the very best. You can sit down and listen to it the entire score, and it's amazing.
Well, that's the first time that we hear that Imperial March, right? In The Empire Strikes Back. I mean, that's an iconic piece of music, too.
Right.
As well as the stuff that came later, and the one that you're talking about. The, what's it called again?
Duel of the Fates.
Duel of the Fates, yeah. I
Which
knew
I
it had
actually
something to
sang.
do with the Force.
Right.
It's a good
Yeah.
one.
Or not.
Would you regale us with some
Oh,
of
it's,
your
so
singing?
John. So I actually did it with John Williams and the Boston Pops.
I want to hear you sing it too.
Oh, but it's fake words. He created this pseudo language, and it was like Kora Mata Ratama, and like over and over again. And
No, with feeling. Once again, with feeling.
What do you think
Was
that was?
this your-
Tony?
Was this
We
like
aren't
your,
all news influencers.
your high school swing choir version?
Can you sing Yub Nub, Zach?
Oh yeah, do
Yub
Yub Nub.
Dude, Yub Nub.
I was not invited to play.
That's another unfortunate casualty of the
I
revisionist.
love Yub Nub. It's
Yub
so
Nub is
good.
gone. It's not
Yeah.
at the
So
end
good.
of the
Yeah,
trend.
it's
And for
weird.
those who are listening who have no idea what you guys are referring to, Yub Nub is
See, it's the end of
Return of the Jedi.
Return of the
Yeah.
Jedi, and it's on Endor, and it's the Ewok celebration, and it's such a good bop. It's so fun, and then it was cut, and I'm very mad about it being cut.
Yeah,
you just
good.
invented an entire new genre.
And it has a great bass line. The music is great, and then they changed it, which is
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah,
K-pop,
that's weird.
there's Kids Bop, now there's
Ewok Bop.
There's Ewok
Ewok
Bop.
Bop.
Yeah,
Ewok.
and I stand
Ewok
by
Bop.
it.
Wok
Ewok
Bop.
Bob. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, I have a song that I've been working on. I didn't get it ready in time for this podcast today, but the next time when you do Return of the Jedi a few years down the road, I'll be ready with this. You know, Brush Up
Spoiler
Your
alert.
Shakespeare, right? Brush Up Your Shakespeare by
Yeah.
Cole Porter. I have
Yeah, yeah.
Brush Up Your Star Wars kind of thing that I've been working
Also by
on.
Cole Porter.
Quoting him now.
Yeah, brush up your Star Wars. Start watching it now. Brush up your Star Wars, and the nerds you will wow. Darth Vader was quite a mean fella, but his kid was a space Cinderella. Brush up your Star Wars, and they're all kowtow. This is where you do your Darth Vader. I am your father, and they'll all kowtow. Pew pew, and they'll all kowtow. Yay.
Did you write that yourself?
Yeah, that's all I got so far.
Actually,
Fred.
what was amazing was that Haley was doing all of those voice effects herself.
Yes. Yeah.
Exactly.
I actually am in the studio every time you guys do Symphony Lab. I do all the voices.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what
I
I'm
really
was
like
in
your
the Police
Wilhelm
Academy
screen.
movie.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Right.
That's great.
I try my hardest.
After we had you on for that very first time, then we
Yeah.
suspended you
For
Yep.
from
5
talking
years.
for 5 years.
Like, but you can do the sound effects. Just
So,
like,
you know,
quick.
tread carefully,
Yeah.
right?
I do. Yeah.
I like how you impersonate Elaine Trudell's daughter for that one. That's
that
really
was a
great.
tough one, but I
Yeah.
practiced it for a long time.
That was very
Okay.
good.
Guys, make it do better than that.
Yeah.
Sounds
Making
just
a
like
cameo appearance is Elaine Trudell's daughter
Oh, I love it.
on the soundboard. Well, Haley, you know, you still count as a newbie because none of us can remember what episode you were on. It was
was
so
that
far
memorable.
back in
I
history.
know.
Yeah.
So we're
Yeah.
just going to scratch the slate clean. I know that's a mixed metaphor, right? We're going to wipe the board clean, and we're going to treat you like a newbie. And the tradition is with newbies here at Toledo Symphony Lab is we ask you to tell your story, right? And I've got a little music for you. Oh no, that's the wrong one. No,
Funeral march.
no, that's that is.
Haley, it's been great knowing you.
Oh no.
I found, you know, I spend most of my time looking for royalty-free music, and that was as close as I could get to the Darth Vader theme. So that explains that. Now, let me see if I can find yours. Okay, here we go. Yeah, that's a nice kind of little...
Uh-huh. And so what do I do?
Just sing when you're ready.
Yeah.
And a one and a two.
No.
No, you tell us your story. Tell us your story. You know what? You can tell us.
Oh, okay.
Tell us your Star Wars story.
My Star Wars story about how I was introduced to Star Wars.
Yeah.
I was introduced by my dad. My dad and my mom were both big fans of the films, and so I remember as a kid, it was a big deal for my dad to be like, "We're gonna watch this film series, and it's gonna be great." And we all sat down and we watched the original series. We loved it, and the great thing for me in my age group was when the prequels came out. I was still a kid, so I kind of got two experiences watching the prequels, and that I loved them because I was like Jar Jar Binks is hysterical, and like, as
get out right now.
Wait. But as like, thank you. I was a kid, so I just thought like this is perfect kid movie stuff. So I watched that, and I love pod racing. Mm-hmm. And then as an adult, I got the experience to watch it back and be like, oh, I get it. Like I get why this is a thing.
Hey, Lisa, busing is here.
How often do you pod race?
All the time on the weekends.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
So it was great because I got two experiences watching the Clone Wars and all those prequels. Is like I got to watch it as a kid and enjoy it as kid fodder, and then as adult realized that it's the funniest. It's the funniest trilogy ever. I love it.
Kid fodder is like a great superhero name. Kid fodder. There should be. Yeah.
I would argue that Phantom Menace would be the best Star Wars movie if they took out Jar Jar.
I don't hate Phantom Menace out of the prequels. I like it. It's not bad. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
Jar Jar's annoying, but he's the one I quote the most. Jar Jar, I quote
because
Jar
you
Jar.
do his voice so well.
Well, I usually come home and say, Lisa back. I really do. And and when I see my son, hello, boyo, I do all the time. And then I realize,
and how long after you say that do you have things thrown at you?
No, they've gotten used to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For some reason, I'm imagining like a combo of Homer Simpson and Jar Jar Binks, right?
Lisa back.
That's the
Hello,
problem.
boyo.
That's the problem with the prequels, though. They're so quotable. Like, it's so fun to quote those movies.
Yeah.
So,
It's true.
yeah.
Well, I
So
got
that
a
was my Star Wars
surprise for you.
experience.
Now that you're talking about quoting movies
Yes.
and impressions and all of that, we do have a quiz, and we're going to spin the roulette wheel, and we go around, and what happens is, this is like, you ever watch the musical mashup quiz that Jimmy Fallon does, right? Musical quotations quiz. We're doing like a film quotations quiz. It's hard to explain. You get
We do
a
have
character,
to play this, you know.
You get a character from Star Wars, from the Star Wars universe,
Oh, no.
and you get a famous quote from a movie, and you have to do it with your impression of that Star Wars character,
And
right?
is
you have to read
the quote
movie.
from a Star Wars movie, or
No,
is it like
no, the quote? It's a famous quote
Gone
from
with the Wind?
different movies.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
This
Have,
is
you didn't peek at
difficult.
yours, did you?
no, no? But I would love for it to be.
Wait,
Yeah.
have you guys done impressions before on the
No.
last one?
No.
Oh, no. Okay.
Tony has.
You had your chance
My
to
life
leave,
is
Haley.
I
The
know.
door is locked now.
I'm
People are so
nervous
sick of
now.
my
Maybe
impressions.
we got it wrong. You're not an influencer. You're an impressionater.
Okay.
Right.
Just
That's what it is.
Just
A
so
news
everybody feels
impressionator.
well, feels good. I'm going to go first.
I know
Okay.
Moen and I are freaking out over here.
Yeah.
So, all right, and you don't say it what it is. Everybody else has to guess who you're trying to imitate,
Oh, no.
right? Which could be, oh boy. All right, here we go. Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night. Anybody got that?
Are you Admiral Akbar?
I think that was Vader.
No.
Is it General Grievous?
No.
Count Dooku?
Zach, last chance. No, you're shaking your head. No, that doesn't work. There was supposed to be Kylo Ren. Remember last time we did, and Tony gave instructions as to how to do Kylo Ren. You just put your hands over your mouth.
You have to do one hand, I think, is what it is.
Oh, I messed it up. Okay.
That sounds better. Yeah. That second time was
And if you do it the other way, you can make your hand into a trumpet.
I didn't practice.
Find
the
a girl.
The
I haven't
quotation.
done
You
it.
know what movie that's from, right? Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night. Betty Davis.
Betty Davis.
All About
I can't
Eve.
think it was
All
About
about
Eve.
Eve.
it was on
So
TV the other night.
I can give you sort of a half a point there. Yeah. Okay, next one. Let's go around the room. Merwin, you ready? Let me start you.
I've lived into my 40s without having to do an impression of someone.
No longer.
Okay.
The tension mounts.
Suspense, yeah.
I can't do this.
You have to do it. Give it a shot.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
That was really good. I don't know what it was, but it was really good.
See,
I think it's Yoda.
it was Clark.
No, it wasn't Yoda.
I'm going to
Darth
say,
Vader.
Damn, I do not give, my dear.
yeah, whoever gets Yoda has to,
Yodify the
change a
quote.
sentence. They have to Yodify the quote. Was it Darth Vader?
Yeah.
Okay, Haley got that one.
Nice. Thank you.
And what was
Darth Gable.
Yeah, Gone with the Wind. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
called Gone with the Wind. How about that? That's why you looked at
Exactly.
me funny.
So far, Haley has 1 point. Okay, Haley, it's your turn. Let's get you started on the roulette wheel here.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, no. Okay. I feel like the majority of this podcast is me just saying, oh, no.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Damsel in
I
distress.
actually don't know if I can.
Don't think of it as a
Okay.
podcast. Think of it as a pod race. It's going to be fine.
Oh, yeah.
Let me get you psyched up again with
Okay,
the.
yep. I can't even think of how to do this one, but. All right, ready? Pew, pew.
Go for it.
All right. I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse. It's a trap.
She's covering her mouth.
I added it a little bit. What do you guys think?
My God, you sounded like Granny and the Beverly Hillbillies.
I mean, this person kind of looks like a granny.
So it was like Laura Dern during Admiral Akbar.
Oh.
Did you get it?
It was right. Admiral Akbar.
Wow. Oh,
She threw in the It's a Trap. Good Star Wars knowledge, though.
yeah.
Points for that.
Can anyone do an Admiral Akbar impression?
It's a trap!
Yeah,
Something like
Tony
that.
can do all of them.
Wait, yeah, you do that then.
Oh, what's this?
As
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Like, it's just
See,
you
that
gotta
sounded just like
shake
mine.
your head.
Sounded just like mine.
And now
you
Jimmy
sound like-
Durante walks into the studio.
or Catherine Hepburn.
It
one,
is.
one or the other. Okay. All right, Tony, I'm going to bring up your roulette wheel.
This one's not even.
Not even what?
It's not fair because
It's not even.
I've got a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
I actually got
Jar
the
Jar.
All together,
Yeah.
Jar Jar.
right.
Okay, we'll give that
Should
to
have
Haley.
been.
Misa got a feeling.
Okay, Zach, you're up. No pressure.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the voice. You did it a few minutes ago, and I can't do it as well as you do. It's a Frank Oz character. I'd love for you to just say it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Try it again.
Just say something.
But you can't pass it off to Tony.
Or do not. There is no try.
Okay. So you have to rephrase the syntax.
No, I need a
Here, give it to me. I'll do it.
I need a primer on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're going to say. though.
Just say something like him.
For my ally is the Force,
Okay.
and a powerful ally it is.
You could do the baby.
All right, Zach.
A box of chocolates, like life was like always,
Ooh.
Mama said.
Oh, it's Baby
was
Yoda.
good.
Yeah, that was Baby
good.
Yoda. It was Grogu.
I didn't know he could phone a friend though. That's good though.
That gets a Zach Vassar bell.
Yeah.
Used to be the
Use
Mahler
Molly
bell.
Bell, my bell.
Used to be the Ma bell. Now I'm changing it to the Za bell.
Need more Zabel.
Excellent. Okay. Well, I'm just going to give that one to Haley because you know, she
for
has the
sure.
presence of mind to actually say the right answer, even though we all knew it. So we'll give her
Thanks,
a
guys.
little
Wow,
applause.
that was the nicest left-handed compliment I've ever heard. She had the presence of mind to say something, even though we all knew it.
Yeah. Was it against us or against her, though?
Speak
you
for
know.
yourself, Cresswell.
Yeah, exactly. I often do.
So I have a question though for everybody, and this is I genuinely was
Wait a second.
wondering this.
Is there a lightsaber on the table?
There
between-
is, I just putting my cards on the table.
Nice.
Check your weapons.
Nice.
All right, sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's all right. So last time we did this, I had not seen. Obviously, I hadn't seen it in person
Yeah.
with the symphony
Yeah.
playing.
Yeah.
As backup, and not backup, but like really center stage, but playing the background music.
Front up. Yeah.
Front up. That's what. So that was what was.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about why we're on this topic today.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
That was why
I
we're.
keep thinking we should say that, but
So
the
mentioned
concert
it. You
sold
mentioned
out,
it.
so it
Have
doesn't
have
really
we
matter.
actually started the program yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, we
geez.
started 18 minutes ago.
So
So
this is
the-
what it sounds like.
For those of you just tuning in, the Toledo Symphony Orchestra played live during the original Star Wars film. And that was in 2019. We had to go back through history here. So now here we are again, and the symphony is going to perform for The Empire Strikes Back, the sequel. What struck you about last time when you were there, when it was live, when you heard the audience? What was it about that performance?
I just remember the size of the screen. So that one we did at the Huntington. Tonight we're doing at the Stranahan. But the Huntington allowed us to set up a screen that I think was 75 feet wide
Wow.
and like 25 feet tall. It was enormous.
Yeah, it was huge.
And I remember when you came out on stage at the beginning, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, he's so small.
I get that a lot.
So big. But sorry, but the first note when the crawl starts, it was just so great to realize that was happening live from the Toledo Symphony, but then everything else in the movie was maintained, and some of the sound effects were amazing. I mean, the rumble was so pronounced that you could feel things going like through you, under you, over you. It was incredible.
Did I ever tell you that was my biggest tweet that had like 5,000 or so retweets?
Really?
Where I took a little clip of when Mark Hamill made his first appearance, right, in the movie with the orchestra playing, just a few seconds of him coming and running on. And I tweeted that, and Mark Hamill instantly liked it himself.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then I kept getting retweets and retweets here and there and likes. So that was my one brush with Star Wars fame.
So I also remember that people were cheering and quoting along with the movie. It felt kind of Mystery Science Theater as well.
There are so many different types of music, as you pointed out. Just the atmospheric music is more like Philip Glass at points, where it's like just so minimalist when he's stuck in the Wampa cave, and you get that sensation of eeriness.
Philip Glass is stuck in a Wampa cave.
Didn't you hear the story of Philip Glass's harrowing adventure?
I got a story for you here. You know,
Sit right back and you
Philip
hear
Glass
a tale.
was stuck in a Wampa cave. Did you hear that? Did I tell you that one already?
It was cattywampus.
So cattywampus.
Yes, I'm sorry, you were saying?
No,
Tony?
I wasn't saying anything.
I think that is interesting, though, because I find even doing morning classics and listening to classical music and vice versa, listening to Star Wars, you're like, oh, that sounds like Holst, or like, oh, that sounds like Wagner. When playing it, rehearsing it, actually seeing the music, playing it, do you kind of have those connections that are made of like, wow, this sounds like...
You're like, I've done this before.
Yeah, like, is it something that feels familiar?
I hate to
times.
say this, but it sounds like John Williams. No, I think one of the things is when it imprints on you so young, that actually is the first imprint.
Right.
So, I mean, this is a horrible thing to say as an orchestra musician and an artistic administrator, but Holst sounds like John Williams.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know,
I like that. I'm here for that.
Because
I get
that's
it,
what,
though,
you know, I saw those movies in a way, like, you know, far before I experienced the planets.
Right.
You know,
Sure.
so.
Well, it's kind of like when I was a teenager and I saw an opera for the first time, and it was Carmen, and I was thinking, they stole that music from the Bad News Bears, you know, the entire time.
Yeah.
Man, that's rough.
Yeah.
I think it is in Empire Strikes Back at the beginning. I think they're in Tatooine, and it sounds like Rite of Spring. It's
not
like
Tatooine in Empire. So.
What is it at the beginning of?
Hoth is the frozen planet.
Oh gosh, so maybe it's then Return of the Jedi that I'm thinking of at the beginning.
Yes.
When it's like there's a melody, and it's exactly Stravinsky's Rite of Spring.
Yeah.
We'll ask you back in a couple of years when they do Return of the Jedi.
Well, so I wanted to share with you what my most striking part was during the original Star Wars, when it was performed live with the symphony, when Luke comes out on Tatooine and looks at the dueling suns, and the French horn solo takes over, and everyone applauded. And that was the part that got me. I was like, wow, they're here for a completely different experience.
Yeah.
And it's okay. We want people to cheer. We want people to applaud. And we want to celebrate like these musical experiences that happen a lot in Empire. The music really takes over numerous times. So I have three main parts of Empire that I was thinking of where the music is center stage. And so I want everybody to pay attention and listen to these parts.
I've got my pen.
I'm going to write it down.
I got my popcorn.
Okay, it starts at about 20 minutes in is when we hear the Imperial March. It's the establishing part for the Empire, and it's we better start the evacuations. Dun 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 dun. You know,
That's a leitmotif.
Oh,
wow.
Taking notes.
it's so good, and that I expect people to applaud or at least
boo.
get chills or boo.
Yeah.
Then another 20 minutes after that, about 40 minutes into the film, is the asteroid field, and it's so good. It's one of those, just has all the little twinkles and explosions, and you hear the piccolo and he does these Mickey Mousing with the runs where it goes it's a chromatic scale up and down, and it emulates the way the ship's flying.
And it's one of those, like with many parts of Star Wars, it's a little bit less it's less concerning if you're hitting the moment exactly to the split second. You have to hit asteroids.
You do.
Oh,
you do
have to get that right.
Yeah,
and so the pressure
totally.
is really, really. I mean, unless anybody from the orchestra is listening, there's no pressure at all.
Right.
But,
Just relax. Have fun with it.
Just relax. It's going to be fine. But but there is a lot of pressure.
You do
hitting
you.
that right.
Yeah. I used to like drive up Anthony Wayne Trail and avoid potholes with that music playing in the car. It's the same kind of thing.
Yeah, that's fun.
Basically, yeah.
Yes.
All right, and then in the final music moment that I expect everyone to go nuts for, aside from the beginning and the ending, of course, is when Yoda lifts the X-Wing out of the swamp in Dagobah, and it's just so powerful.
Yeah, the
Such
triumphant Yoda music.
Oh, it's so good.
Which
so
they
good.
used again in the very last film.
Right.
When Luke raised out his speeder from, or his X-Wing from the wherever it was in the water, he brought it out. They used that music note for note, Yoda's music.
It's great to hear those come back. It's so fun to make those connections.
That's one of the neatest things too, is as even when you went to the prequels and you see basically young Vader, there's a slowed down version of the Imperial March, I think, on a French horn or violin or something like that. And I love the anticipatory attention.
Well, it goes back to what you were saying, Merwin, about these melodies being so embedded into your head, especially watching them at such a young age, that they do evoke these feelings that when you hear them again, it's impossible not to make those connections to the feelings that you had watching it the first time.
And I think it's one of those things where you kind of, if you're able to kind of hear those things in a Star Wars movie, that's the type of listening that just is so rewarding in an opera or a symphony. You're just like, it's exact. If you can think, oh my gosh, that's Darth Vader's music, then that's exactly the type of thing that Tchaikovsky does at the end of a symphony when he brings back the first movement. theme.
Yeah.
Or
He's very good at
Wagner,
that.
same thing. Yeah.
So I remember
We don't talk
walking.
about Wagner.
Is that a rule?
We don't talk about Wagner. No.
Sorry. I don't know the rules yet. They're so
You know he's
clear.
going to break into song every time you say we don't talk about somebody,
Yes,
right?
the count is. I think we're trying to hit a quota of 4.
Halfway there.
You were saying, Zach?
Let me get back on track here. Yeah, so I remember walking out of the Huntington after the last one. Now, mind you, we did that on May the 4th, 2019. We're doing
Just
this
like
on
this year.
May the 4th, 2022.
Just like today, as a matter
There was
of
a
fact.
small little pandemic in the middle, but obviously we want to celebrate Star Wars Day. So, first of all, I remember walking out, and there were these very excited guys behind me, and maybe not your standard symphony crowd, which is honestly why we do this. And the one guy looked at the other, he said, "That was effing amazing!" and then, yeah, thank you. And
A little late on the beat.
Hey, it happens.
The other guy said, "But yeah, they didn't play the Imperial March." And I wanted to turn around and say, you realize we did it note for note in the score. There is no Imperial March in the first or fourth movie. And I thought that was really funny. They
It's not the
they
Star
thought
Wars
we had
hit
somehow,
parade.
we had somehow like excluded it.
Well, I hope they come back this time.
There was almost a nerd rumble, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
There is no Imperial March. Yeah, there is.
Da-da,
And there's like
da-da,
some stooge eye pointing. Boink. Spread out.
Pew, pew.
Yeah.
Something like that. Anyway, we've kind of skirted around this a little bit. We touched on it a little bit over the last 20 minutes or so, but I asked each of you to rank your favorites in order, your top 5 films in order, so we could have a little controversy here or see if we're all on the same page or not. My top movies, my 5 top in order are The Empire Strikes Back, going from best to worst. Empire Strikes Back, A New Hope, The Force Awakens, Return of the Jedi, and finally Rogue One, which I thought was an interesting story. Merwin, you sent me yours, so I'll just go ahead and say it. You have A New Hope listed as first, and then Empire, Last Jedi, Return of the Jedi, which is an interesting choice, and or I'm sorry, Last Jedi, which is an interesting choice, or The Force Awakens, which I thought was a great movie. You guys want to chime in? Now, Haley, what were your top 5?
I'm with Merwin. A New Hope is my number 1. I like meeting all the characters. I like everything kind of getting started and the excitement there. So New Hope is my number 1. Empire Strikes Back is 2. I like Return of the Jedi, so the originals are going to be my top 3. And then I'm torn because I really did like Force Awakens, but because of the prequels being the prequels and they're so quotable and they're so wonderful and stupid at the same time, I kind of love them. And so I do like Phantom Menace and I do like Attack of the Clones. And it's a part of like my whole, like my brother and my cousins, we all quote those movies. So they're kind of, it's different in how I hold the original trilogy in my heart, but the prequels are very, very funny. And
Haley, you and I are going to get along just fine.
Good.
But I think that what's coming out in these comments is why it's so amazing to be able to do this. There's something about Star Wars that's both private and public.
Right.
You watch them at like 2 a.m. when you can't sleep, and yet you share them with. It's like an intergenerational sharing, and how you rank the movies has very little to do with kind of necessarily the private experience. There's just this commonality of sharing, and that I think that's why A New Hope was so huge for me. It was that first time going to and having no idea what to expect.
Yeah.
And especially like sharing it with your family, like you were saying, like my dad was like, "You're gonna love this," and then so it's kind of this shared thing, and then going to the theater for the first time and watching it. So yeah, I think that first one is always a good way to start.
Right.
Let's hear from Tony and Zach. Zach, why don't you go first and give us yours, and then Tony, you can give us yours. All right. No, Zach, you don't have any? Did I copy you on that email or no?
How many of the movies have you seen?
We're actually discovering a lot about you.
I was here to talk about Corn Gold.
All right, well,
I'll just say this. I mean, I have huge appreciation for these movies. I was not raised to adore them. It was just not how my family, talked about movies. I do remember that I was fortunate enough to see each of the movies for the very first time in the theater when they were released in the late 90s. So I was very excited after watching New Hope to go watch Empire Strikes Back and then Jedi all at once. And he said, no. You made it this far. Wait, because they released them 6 months or a year apart. Yeah. And just having that anticipation to do it in the theater was really kind of cool. So
you watched the prequels first and then the original.
No, the original's first.
Gotcha.
So
Sorry,
I went 4, 5, 6, and then I went.
When they were re-released. Nobody else here in the room sat down and watched it in a movie theater back in 1977, right? Except
Not
for me,
the original, but I did see it re-released after Empire came out and then before Jedi.
Right.
So I did see it in the theater in the early 80s.
Okay. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Starting to feel really old here. That's okay.
Sorry, man.
That's all right. Tony, let's hear yours.
My number 1 is Empire, because that was the formative movie for me. And you get to take your Star Wars toys out into the snow and play with them. And that is, every time I have a snow day, that's still like the first thing that I put on the first half of Empire, watch the Hoth scene, and then go outside and play.
I wish I could put like a tauntaun as one of the characters in that impressions quiz. Yeah, exactly. No matter what it was, no matter what the quote was, you just be like, "Whoa."
They have a tauntaun sleeping bag that I want so badly.
Oh, that
Have
would
you
be.
guys
You
seen
think
it?
they smell
That's
bad
awesome.
on the outside?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you zip it. I love it. It's so great. You guys should check it out.
Oh, that is great.
I have so many questions about that. All right.
A tauntaun sleeping bag.
You zip it open, and like the head is the tauntaun head, so the pillow part is this head.
That's
It
just
looks so
like
cool.
it's kind of creepy in a way, because
if it's good enough for Luke Skywalker to, it's good enough for me.
It saved his life.
Exactly.
nice.
That's to you, Omi Haley.
Nice. Well,
Then I would go after Empire, I would say The Force Awakens, because it was just so gratifying. There was such a culmination of waiting for something great to come out, and I feel like they delivered on every level with that movie. But then after that...
That is 7, right? That's after
that
Jedi?
is 7,
All
yeah.
right.
I would that's the J.J. Abrams first one. And then after that, I would say not Phantom Menace. I'm sorry.
So
not
you
Phantom Menace.
Empire
I
Strikes
would
Back
go
was your 1,
Empire,
and then Force
Awakens. Attack of the Clones is probably my number 3 because I watched it over and over and over. And episode 3 is my number 4 because we finally get some lightsaber action that is just outstanding, and you don't see that in any of the other movies. Not even in like The Mandalorian, which is great. I would put that much higher if it was a movie. But we get such good, like what we've been waiting for, like laser sword fights, and the prequels had that. Yeah, no,
not blasters.
Blasters.
That's all I got.
Okay. And then number 5, I would say, this is going to be an unpopular opinion too. Solo. I really liked Solo because of the script, because Larry Kasdan came back and wrote it with his son, and there's all these different throwbacks to his original trilogy, and there's, I felt like the Lando character was outstanding, and I know people can't see.
We don't talk about Lando.
We don't talk about Lando. No. Okay. But I know people can't see anyone but Harrison Ford in that role, so I understand. But I felt like it was just as good as it could be.
Yeah. What do you guys think of this idea of the sequel of a movie being better than the original movie? I mean, people always say that about The Empire Strikes Back.
Didn't the Bad News Bears go to like Antarctica or somewhere?
It was much better than Carmen.
It's a Brady Bunch in Hawaii, right?
Yeah.
Brady Bunch movie 2.
Amadeus
totally
2, The Resurrection.
Oh my God.
That was definitely better. What's your vote, Haley? For
Salieri's Revenge.
I was just about to say Salieri Strikes Back.
Salieri Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Well, he already struck back the first time. It would have to be Mozart Strikes Back.
That's right.
Hey, in Star Wars, they bring dead characters back all the time. So in Amadeus,
Yeah,
we
but
can
he
bring
doesn't
Salieri
die.
back.
Mozart dies.
Okay.
Have you seen the movie?
Yeah, it's been a long
Okay,
time.
when are you guys going to do
In the
Amadeus?
sequel, though,
Yeah.
Salieri plays the piano backwards with his butt. So he has the last laugh.
Wow, thank you for that one. We're waiting for John Williams to reorchestrate the original Mozart.
Oh, yeah.
That could be good. That could be good.
Great. Yeah. Didn't he do orchestrations for West Side Story or something? They did, or no, Fiddler on the Roof.
Fiddler, yeah.
Fiddler on the
Oh,
Roof.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
He did do
This
the
makes
score
sense.
for the upcoming series, though. If you're tuned into Disney Plus, and the Obi-Wan series has John Williams doing the score.
The
for
Obi-Wan
show.
series,
Yeah.
yeah. Which also used the Duel of the Fates, in the trailer.
Right.
Everybody's making a big deal out of that. But let's talk a little bit about those Star Wars series, the peripheral ones. You mentioned Mandalorian. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Mandalorian. Have watched it religiously. Have you all been watching that?
I'm so behind. I haven't seen. I know it's good. A lot of people have said that they liked it, and I haven't watched it yet.
Well, Haley, you mentioned the Clone Wars, and there are several real life portrayals of
I think you're
people
trying to say
from the Clone
influencers.
Wars. Yes. There are several news influencers from the cast of Clone Wars that appear in real life on The Mandalorian. So that was kind of exciting to see that as well, even though I'd never seen an episode of the Clone Wars, but I did do a little research.
Yeah.
And then Boba Fett, the story of Boba Fett, or the book of Boba Fett, which is also a series which actually changed into The Mandalorian somehow at the end of the last
It got
few
much
episodes.
better. Yeah.
Yeah, but also, iconic characters from that time in the Star Wars universe coming back on screen, and really a lot of magic there. But I guess nobody's seen it, so we won't talk about it. Tony, you and I will have a conversation
Wait,
later.
we won't
fine.
talk about what?
We won't talk about Lando. No.
No, we won't talk about
Mando.
Mandalorian.
Mando. No.
There it is. I knew
Thanks,
it was in
Haley.
there somewhere. Yeah.
I knew
We'll get
there was
there.
a reason we asked you here, Haley. Okay. Time for another quiz.
Okay. Do we have to
All
do
right.
impressions for this one?
No,
Okay,
you don't
good.
have to, but you're certainly invited to.
Palpable relief.
Palpatine relief.
I was trying.
Yeah.
Oh.
I set it up. Somebody else would knock it down.
That sounds like some weird kind of Mylanta commercial, Palpatine.
This Alstride War was brought to you by Preparation H.
Do it. Do it.
Definitely.
Prepare the H.
All right, we're going to
Wait,
take
did
a
we just
break
get
and
yanked
laugh.
off the road?
Yeah.
Something like that. Okay. Now, what I did was I looked at the quiz that I gave you last time around, and I realized I skipped a bunch of quotes, so I'm going to use those first. So this is the quotation quiz. I give you the quote, you tell me the character in the movie that it's from, right?
Okay.
Let me pull up a little music. And actually, Zach, this is... Tony. Actually, Tony.
I know we look
I know
alike.
I get you guys mixed up all the time.
Yeah.
It must be the
I'm an
jacket.
influencer too.
Yes. Different kind of influencer. So, Tony, I took this.
I'm a bad influencer.
Someday we'll do good radio, folks. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that day is not today.
Hey, stick with me, kid.
Anyway, okay, Tony, so I took this quiz music and I kind of spiced it up a little bit with your special effects. So we'll listen to this just for a second before I start talking.
Pew pew.
Like that.
Okay, here we go.
Wow, you've been remixed.
Yeah, the Tony Geftos remix.
So honored.
Yes.
Are you having like an out-of-body experience right now? I think you're actually really happy.
No, people make fun of me at work all day. So
Yeah.
We are making this
I
is
can see
honorific.
that.
Just
Oh,
so
I
you
know. It's good.
Okay, here's your
Okay,
first one.
don't get ahead of yourself.
Here's your first one. Tell me who said it and what movie it's from. Okay, the quote is this: Hope.
What? Just
What?
one word?
Hope.
on, Tony, you got it.
that would be. Well, I know Ray said it. So is it from The Last Jedi? It's
Anybody
like that.
else?
Is it so still Ray though? Or can we get a hint? Is it still
No, it's
Rey?
anher
Okay.
female member of the
Is it
Star Wars.
It's Carrie Fisher? Is it?
It's Carrie
Princess
Fisher.
Leia, and it's in a movie that she was in. It was in I think that the second one, Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, it wasn't in any of those Star Wars movies per se. It was in the Star Wars story.
Oh, this is from
Rogue
Lord of the
One.
Rings. I remember the elf says it.
Yeah,
She
no.
does.
No, it was Rogue One. Remember when they come in
Oh,
and
it's
they're
Rogue
like,
One.
"Oh,
Yeah.
princess," and it's the fake Princess Leia, and she's like, "Hope."
Here's why I don't like Rogue One. Name a character from Rogue One.
I'm not a fan of Rogue One either. I
See?
didn't like it.
Jaina Oreo.
You're just making up words.
something like that. Yeah, boy, I wish I'd have
That's why I don't like Rogue One.
done my research. Okay, here's the next quote. I've seen your daily routine. You are not busy. Who's that?
That's Ray.
That is Ray. You know what movie it is?
That's The Last Jedi.
All right, Tony. There's always a bigger fish.
Oh, it's Obi-Wan. No, sorry, Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
Qui-Gon
Yeah.
and Phantom.
Qui-Gon, take me away. Phantom Menace.
Now that is an old reference that is lost on Haley. I can just tell.
There's always a bigger fish.
Calgon, take me away.
Oh, Calgon. Sorry, yeah.
That is a throwback to the 70s,
Yes.
Brad.
Yeah,
Missed that
everybody
one.
listening.
That one was over my head.
Everybody listening will get it though.
Like that.
Okay, someday you're going to be wrong. I hope I'm just there to see it.
Is it Leia to Han
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Yes.
in Empire Strikes Back?
Yeah.
Ah, look at me go.
Totally.
Like that.
In my experience, there is no such thing as luck.
Tony knows it. I can
It's
tell.
says
it's
that?
it's Obi-Wan in the original Star Wars.
Yeah. So far, it is a close race between Tony and Haley right now. Okay, Tony G and Haley T.
I'm envisioning this as a pod race.
You'll find I'm
Bulba always wins.
You'll find I'm full of surprises.
Tony,
that.
yeah, I don't know it, Tony, so I'll give it to
This
you.
is
I feel
also from.
like it's a Han line.
No, this is also from The Empire Strikes Back. So I'll give you half of it. Who's the character?
It's not Han?
No. It's Luke.
Is it?
Luke talking to his father.
Oh, yeah, during the end battle scene.
Yeah, you'll find I'm full of
that.
surprises. Okay. Mom, you said that the biggest problem in this universe is nobody helps each other.
Anakin.
Yes. That was Anakin in The Phantom Menace. He's quite clever, you know, for a human being.
That's C-3PO, and I think that's the original Star Wars.
It's Empire Strikes Back, but it is C-3PO. Yes. This
Did
will
you
be
say
easy.
it like C-3PO?
Wait, on this next one, I want it to be Merwin and Zach.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
All right, yeah, you
This
guys
is
go.
not
ahead.
gonna
You guys
work.
Okay.
figure it out.
It's not
You
gonna
do
Now
that.
that's a name I have not heard in a long time.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah?
And I'm going to go with original.
Yes.
Very good.
I was going to guess Spaceballs.
Tony will get this one. I've got a really good feeling about this.
That's from Solo, yeah.
It's Han Solo in the movie Solo. Speaking of, I've got a really good feeling about this. The quotation that everybody knows is, I've got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a little lightning round, and we just go around. You name a character who said that in one of the movies, okay? And we'll scratch it off. There are 8 Star Wars characters that actually said, I've got a bad feeling about this. Okay? Let me get my pen. All right. Okay, starting with you, Marwin.
Han Solo.
That was the easy one. Okay.
I'll take that. I'll tell you.
Haley?
Obi-Wan says it.
Obi-Wan says it. Okay. Tony?
Leia says it.
Yes. Okay,
Like
Zach?
Skywalker probably says it.
Which Skywalker?
Yeah, Luke.
Luke Skywalker says it. Okay. Now we're getting into difficult territory. You're up,
Right.
Merwin.
I'll go with Rey.
Nope.
Like that.
Have we already said Leia?
Yeah, we already said Leia.
I'm trying to think of who.
There is another Skywalker.
Like that.
Luke, Leia, and
Well, you got him before. This is in the movie Attack of the Clones.
Like that.
what am I missing?
It was Anakin Skywalker.
Oh, I thought. Okay. Anakin Skywalker.
Anakin Skywalker. Yes. Is that your final answer?
Final answer.
Final answer. I've got
that was
2
already
left.
said, sorry.
2 of them left. They both.
I think it's Lando.
Well, one is from Return of the Jedi, and the other one is from The Last Jedi. So, and Lando is not either one of those.
Oh no.
So, that's a no for Tony.
Dang.
Zach, you got nothing?
Like that.
All right, Merwin.
I've got nothing, but I
Like that.
Is it Admiral Akbar?
No.
I was gonna name random
He
characters.
should.
Jar Jar.
I'll give you a hint. They're both droids.
C-3PO.
C-3PO is one, yeah. In Return of the
I
Jedi.
didn't know that.
R2D2 actually says it. You just don't know.
Yeah, that's
The other one says it
a
in.
lot of swears.
They say it in droid language. Yeah. Exactly.
Zach got it.
Yeah.
There you go, Zach.
No, that's not who it is.
Oh, okay.
BB-8.
Like that.
BB-8. Merwin got it. Yeah.
That was
he-
the secret triple bonus score.
It was.
Yeah. You remember that part where BB-8 like beeps and bloops at Poe Dameron, and he's like, happy beeps, buddy.
Like that.
Right?
Right.
That-
Yeah.
Because that's what he said. I have a bad feeling about this.
Oh.
In droid language.
Wow, that's a deep cut.
Yeah. That's a deep Star Wars cut. That's why we saved it for 50 minutes into the podcast.
Okay. If you're still with us.
Bonus question. What is this?
Wilhelm scream.
Yeah.
That's
The
from,
Wilhelm scream.
that's from Amadeus 2.
Salieri Strikes Back.
Yes. Mozart Strikes Back. Again?
Salieri.
Like that? Okay. By the way, Tony, I searched far and wide for the Wilhelm II scream, and
Yeah.
I didn't find it anywhere.
It's
so-
out there.
Okay, I'll keep looking. All right, the Wilhelm scream is named after Private Wilhelm, a character in the 1953 feature The Charge at Feather River. What caused him to scream in the first place? Was it being hit in the leg by an arrow? Was it being shot in the back? Or was it
that.
falling off a cliff? A, B, or C?
I think it's.
A. Like that.
I thought he was falling off a cliff.
I like all of the above.
Oh, no, you said A? Yeah,
That's right.
That's right.
Got hit in the leg with an arrow. I've seen that over and over and over.
Yeah.
Every time they dissect the Wilhelm scream,
that.
they show it.
He got hit in the leg by an arrow. Good timing with the music, because that's the end of our quiz. So who won? I wasn't keeping track. I think I
We
stopped
all
at
won.
one point.
We're all
Yeah.
winners.
That's right.
We're all winners.
Yeah.
You guys
Excellent.
are amazing to watch. You get so excited as you're going through all of this. You're playing the movies in your mind. Who's saying it? Where is this? I can just see your eyes flickering back and forth.
That's the midichlorians.
I'm
only
not
thing
going to
that-
explain what those are again.
The only way this would have been better is if we all had shots of tequila.
Yeah. Or
Who says we don't?
G&Ts.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it is International Star Wars Day.
Right. Every time you say Star Wars, take a shot.
Excellent. This is a drinking game we can do at the Stranahan, right?
It's kid fodder.
That's right.
Looking forward to that tonight. It's happening tonight. The concert is. There are no tickets. They're sold out, but you can try anyway. I imagine they'll be out front, with tickets available.
Scalpers.
Symphony scalpers.
Yeah.
All those nerd scalpers. How does a nerd scalper talk? Right? Be kind of like that Tauntaun.
We are not including this in the episode.
But of course,
Bit of yours.
I had so much more content here, but that's okay. We didn't talk all that much about the genius of John Williams, but it will be on display tonight, definitely.
And I'll start. If those of you who are listening and are very excited about this performance, I'm sorry that we don't have tickets available anymore. Get your tickets early. We are going to play our first Pops concert next year, though, is a tribute to John Williams.
Wow, wonderful.
Oh, how great.
Good to know. Well, get online and get that, check out that brochure for next year at the Toledo Symphony.
And that's later. Is it the academic year? Is it the season? Start of the season?
It's very confusing, isn't it?
Yeah. Is it
It'll
September?
be in the fall of 22.
Okay, got it.
That'll be great. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Old Johnny. John Williams is 90 years old.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's amazing.
And
Did you
he's
guys see
still
that?
writing music.
And there's a video. Did you see that video of those kids? It was like a trumpet.
They went to his house.
Yes, he went, and he came
Yeah.
out. He came
Yeah.
out, and it was so sweet. A little high school kid was playing, and he came out and said hello to him.
Zach and I both have John Williams stories, which people will have to go looking for the other Star Wars podcasts that we did, which you can find online at our website. Thank you, Tony Geftos. Thank you, Haley Taylor, for coming in and joining us in our silliness today, talking about the Star Wars Day, which happens to be today. Happy Star Wars Day to each and every one of you listening. And if you're listening to the podcast, hey, every day is Star Wars Day, right? This program is a production of I kind of sound like Jar Jar Binks. Can you do, if I give it to you?
Sure. And Jar Jar. That'd be great.
This program is a production of WGTE, public media in collaboration with our sponsor, the Toledo Symphony, with generous support from the Rita Barber Cohn Foundation. You can download episodes of this program as a podcast by going to our website at wgte.org/lab. Woo! You can also subscribe to us through your podcast app of choice, including Apple and Google Podcasts.
All right, I'll bring in Elmo.
And remember, you can check out all the upcoming events at the Symphony by visiting their website at ToledoSymphony.com and their various social media outlets on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can also find TSO streaming platform online at stream.archtoledo.com. Elmo loves you. Kiss, kiss.